Alright, so in the last class, we talked about how to import and manage media within the media bin. And in this class, we are going to learn the basic editings. How do we edit our videos in the most basic way? Okay, how do we do some cuttings and joinings and so on? Alright, so let's start by opening the video clips that we have. And you can import media like we've explained in the last class by just coming over to the particular media. You can drag and drop it directly. This is one way. Alternatively, you can just hover over it and select a particular in point. Again, you can say maybe at this point you define as the in point, you can hit on the letter I, and then you can define to this point at the out point, you can hit on the letter O, and then you have this section now to add to the timeline. And once you hit on this plus sign, it's going to add it from the beginning of where you have your playhead. Okay, so this is the playhead which you can use to navigate across to be able to see the preview of whatever is underneath the playhead within this preview player. So this is how to import. You can manually drag and drop, or you can select the in point and out point and you can drag and drop the media in directly. So again, you can do that with audio or with video, however you want it. You can just go ahead, select audio, and you can just drag and drop it into the timeline. So just like so. And you're able to see we have the audio profile directly down here. So you can do some very basic editings after importing your media directly. So the first one is you can notice that when you import a media, you create a track. Okay, a track is being created and with some of the features. For example, in the video track, you can see we have this click to edit cover. If you want to edit the cover, you can click on this and be able to edit which cover you can select from the video. If you have it locally, you can just import a particular cover and add it, okay? Or you can specify the location directly from here. So this is one of the beauties of using CapCut on the desktop. Over here, you can mute the clip audio directly. You can mute it and you can just disable or hide the track by just clicking on this. The whole of this track now becomes hidden. You will not be able to have access to it until you enable directly from here. Or you can lock it against any kind of feature exchange. You will not be able to change anything after you have locked until you have unlocked it from here. And then the same thing for the audio. You can mute it down here or you can lock it against any change or thereabout. Now, one of the key things that you can do is you can change the mouse view from the select button, like now it is on the select mode. You can always return to the selection mode with the letter A, or you can create a split with the letter B, or you can do this select left and backwards. Okay, you can select forward and backward with these square brackets. So to create a split anywhere within your clip, you can just select that clip and you can either press on letter B to create that split to enable the razor tool. Okay, with this line you can just split at any given point, but then when you hit the command B, it creates a split. Right now you can see we've split this into two. You can split multiple by just hitting on letter B. Anywhere you click, you're going to create that split. So let's kind of undo this to do it one more time. Okay, so if you go back to the selection tool with the letter A, you can see right now you're on the selection tool. When you click on any place, you're not going to split on anything. But then when you use letter B, it's now on the razor blade tool. So when you click anywhere, it's just going to create that split. Okay, so let's go back to letter A and we can select and move the sections that we've just created the split on. Okay, so this is one way. Another very important way to split or to cut in sections of a clip or multiple clips is using these keywords and shortcut keys W. Or if you want to create a split, again you can use the command B on Mac or Control B on Windows to create the same split. And this kind of split cuts across the clips. Okay, so command B to create that split, and you can undo this. So let's say we select both clips, and when we do command B, it's going to cut across the both clips. Okay, so this is one way. Another way to do the same cutting is going to be by using this delete left. If you want to do delete left, you can use it with the letter Q on your keyboard or letter W to delete right. So if you want to delete just this section of the video from the beginning of this to this point, you can just use letter Q from where the playhead is down to the edge of that particular clip. You can use on letter Q and you can see it's just going to create that. Okay, so let's see. With letter Q, you can see you've created that deleting section. You've deleted that particular section. So you can select and you can use letter Q. You can see we've created that delete from that particular section. Okay, and then you can use on the delete right with letter W. So when you click on W, it's going to delete from the right section. Okay, so it's going to be from the right section that it's going to delete from here up to the playhead with letter W. You can see with letter W, you've created that split. All right, so that's the beauty of using the CapCut editor. Okay, so you can select and you can use letter W, and you can see you've deleted this section from the right. And let's undo this. If I want to delete this section from the left, I can just use on letter Q, and you can see I've deleted this section from the left. So you can select and do very many editings, like you can delete a section, or you can move a section to another point. You could just drag and move them, and you can bring some up, or you can change their tracks or their about. You can do very many basic things on your own if you want to enable that. And then you can select to delete, or you can rotate a section of the video. For example, at this point, if you select this, you can click to rotate it to any angle. Okay, and it's just going to, okay, this is reversing. You can click to reverse it, and it's going to be playing backwards instead of playing forward. It's going to start playing backwards. All right, so when you play this, you will notice that it is going to be playing backwards. So this is playing backwards, and then this is flipping. If you want to flip it, you can see you can flip to the right or to the left. You can easily do that. And then you have this rotate feature. You can rotate it to any angle of your choice. You can vary the angle, or you can on your own manually select from here and create the rotation depending on what angle you're trying to create. So, and then you can do cropping from here. You can crop from any angle. You can specify the length. You can crop from the left or from the top, okay, or from the bottom, depending on the section you're trying to create. And once you are done cropping, you can just either confirm on this, and it's just going to crop. You have multiple other selections. You can rotate it to any angle of your choice. All right, or you can crop ratio. You can select the free cropping, or you can do with these standard templates 1:1, 4:3, or thereabout. You can do all of these croppings. And if you are not certain with what the croppings you have, you can always reset this, and everything is going to go back to normal, which is what I want at this point. So I can just click on confirm, and I have my video back to normal. And over here, I can just select and bring it back to where it was at 360. Okay, so this is about editing. And once you select a particular clip, you can come over here. You have the different clip properties like we've explained earlier on. This is the basic properties. You can play around with a lot of things from here that has to do with this particular clip. For example, the sizing, you can increase or decrease the sizing from here, or you can scale things, uniform scaling. You can select to enable uniform scaling, or you can change the position on the x-axis. You can click to add something on the x or on the y-axis. You can increase or decrease, or you can add the rotation also from here manually. But at any given point, if you don't want, you can always come over here and reset everything, and now this is back to normal. Okay, so down here you have the bunch of other things. You can align left, right, and center. You can change the alignment. You have the modes. You can change the different modes that you have: color, dodge, hard light, and so on. You can change the color, different modes. And then over here, you have the opacity. You can play around with the opacity. You can increase or decrease accordingly from here. So these are very basic video editing properties, like the motion blur. Later on, we'll look at how to add some key advanced features. But this is basic. If you want to check out the audio properties, if there is audio with this clip, you'll be able to see the audio properties over here. Like the volume, you can play around with volume, increase or decrease the volume, and you create a fade in or fade out. You can always do that. You can create a fade in and fade out directly in the volume. So later when we come to deal with how to manage audio, we'll show how to increase, create fade in and fade out. And many other ones. You can enable loudness normalization over here, or enhance the voice directly using this feature, and it's going to automatically enhance your voice, okay, if you have an audio selected. So down here you have a lot of controls, vocal isolation and channels. You can play around with them. So later we'll check out, this is voice changer. You can change your voice to sound like a chipmunk or something, like different kind of voices. You could try it maybe much later to see how it works. And then you have speed. You can change speed, okay, the times. You can make it ×2 or ×3 just to increase the speed or thereabout. And then you have animations and adjustments, which we are going to look at. But basically, when you touch any media, you have its properties over here that you can directly or indirectly change to enhance it or to make it better. But down here you have a bunch of other features which we are going to look at also as we move on. Again, you can trim from the edges. If you come to hover over to edge of any clip, you can click and you could drag inside to trim it from the inside, and you can click and drag also inside to trim it from the other edge. Okay, so at any given point, you notice that if you try to delete anything from here, or you try to move anything, it magnetizes to the end. If you want to remove this, you can come over here. This is remove, turn off magnet track, main track magnet, so you can turn it off, and you can see you can select and move it around. So in cases if you want to create a split, or you want to remove a section of this, for example, you enable the razor blade feature and you click here, create a cut, and you click here also, you create another cut. You can always come back to the selection mode and select on this and delete, and it's just going to leave a space. So if you want, you can select that section and delete it on your own. If you like, you can drag manually and clip it, okay, to the edge. You can just drag and connect them, and then you can select and move them across to this section. Okay, so but in essence, you can do trimming from each angle. From this angle also you can trim, even though it leaves that space, you can trim on your own. You can move things around, and you can trim from the other edge as well, and you can move your clips however you want them across, and it cuts across even images. You can come back here and you can import images, and you are going to experience the same thing when you drag and drop them into the timeline. You have a bunch of other features. Once you select an image, you will be able to have its basic properties over here that you can edit, and you can do the same cuttings across with the letter B and create cuts also in the same way. So I think this does it on this tutorial on generally how to edit your videos. Down here you have other things. One thing you may notice is that you can zoom in and out in the timeline with this. Okay, so you can zoom in to be able to see precisely when you want to make a simple cut. You can zoom in to see the details of it, and you can zoom out using this, and at any given point you can always zoom to fit. This is zooming to fit, so that you can be able to see within the timeline. Everything now zooms out and stay within the timeline. So in this case, in this audio, in this case, you can just select from here and create a trim. You can just select and come to the top here, and then you can create a trim. So you can go back to the selection mode. Okay, go back to selection mode with letter A, and then you can come to the edge here and just select and drag and trim it to the edge over here. So, and then over here you have the option to record an audio thereabout, which we are going to look at also in this tutorial. This is the magnet feature, and this is turn off auto snapping. Okay, if you want to enable auto snapping or you want to turn it off, you can remove from here. And then this is turn off linkage between clips, and then this is turn off preview axis. You can turn off preview axis. This is zoom to timeline, so you can be able to see all the media within the timeline. So basically this does it on how to edit your video clips in CapCut. Do some very basic editings. I hope you enjoyed this video. In the next class, we're going to look at recording with CapCut, which is another way to bring in media into CapCut. Okay, how do we record things with CapCut? So until next time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye.